Mr. Tolliver's lesson was a review of how to use models to represent the information in a word problem. Before beginning the lesson, he clarified expectations for sharing answers and ideas. He also set the purpose for the activity, stating they would be using these models to help them solve some multi-step word problems. The students then brainstormed different ways they had learned previously to model multiplication as repeated addition. The students were actively engaged, hands raised, eyes on Mr. Tolliver. During the activity, they were picked to draw their model on the whiteboard for others to copy onto their papers. He then read aloud one of the word problems and talked about making a mental picture in their heads. He made the connection between reading to create meaning and solving word problems. They would also have to create meaning while they were trying to figure out what the numbers represented. Students shared their ideas on how to solve the problem. Mr. Tolliver used academic vocabulary such as sum, difference, and product, which encouraged the students to do the same. One of the students pointed out to Mr. Tolliver that he was not finished with his product and that he still needed to add in the other information from the word problem to get his sum. At one point, an ELL student commented that the word left in the word problem made him think that he needed to subtract. Mr. Tolliver clarified for the student that although this is a key word that sometimes can mean a student needs to subtract, the question being asked was requiring him to actually add. He later came back to that same child to check for understanding on a similar problem. Mr. Tolliver also checked with another ELL student that was confused about the cocoa that were in the children's cups. While the students worked independently, Mr. Tolliver pulled students from around the room to work together. They worked together in partners, and Mr. Tolliver walked the room questioning students about the vocabulary that they may be unfamiliar with. Mr. Tolliver was highly engaging with the students, walking around the perimeter of the room to be closer to the students. He called on an equal number of boys and girls and was highly aware of students that may be confused or need clarification on unfamiliar vocabulary. He asked specific questions of our ELL and multicultural students to elicit questions or responses from them. The lesson was a success, and the students' products proved this when they were later evaluated.